Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we talk about the things we love like gaming, shows, and anime. It's time to show another Z Fighter's top moments. And today we will be looking at future Trunks and why he deserves his own list of awesome moments. But before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Rocker099100, Santiago Tamulis, the Pokey Hunter 67, the Blazing Blokes, Blackbird Guardian, Greninja Power 15478, and Ramon 555ish. Have a happy new year. Now that it's coming up, it's going to be a great time for all of us. And don't party too hard unless your parents aren't home. Now, let's begin. Number 10, Trunks vs. Tien. In this fight, we clearly knew who the winner would be, but it doesn't mean it wasn't an exciting fight. Tien is capable of holding back Cell, so we know that a match against Trunks should be no easy task. Tien told Trunks not to hold back, but we know how strong Trunks has become, and if he actually didn't hold back, with that final blow given, Trunks could have easily ripped Tien's head clean off, especially since he went Super Saiyan. Number 9, Trunks' sword skills. This is one of Trunks' main skills. The details of his sword show us that this is the sword given to him by Tapion. He can cut through practically anything. As his first appearance, he was introduced when Frieza and King Cole arrived and he instantly wiped out Frieza's henchmen. I was stunned to see a new character appear and stand up against the toughest opponents we had seen so far. But that's not all. He's used his sword skills to wipe out some of the main threats in the series, and like always, he does it with style. Number 8, Trunks vs. Vegeta. Trunks and Vegeta trained together in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber to take on Cell and the androids. They received an incredible Zenkai boost and were able to easily dominate Cell in his semi-perfect form, which meant that the androids were no longer a threat to them. But after Cell told Vegeta that he could easily defeat him if he were to absorb Android 18 and become Perfect Cell, Vegeta's pride got the best of him and he allowed Cell to absorb 18. But Trunks knew that giving the enemy what he wanted would put the Earth in danger yet again. So even though he respected his father since he never met him, he put his love aside and took the initiative to kick Vegeta's ass and take down Cell. Cell may have absorbed 18 in the end, but Trunks proved to be just as strong as Vegeta, maybe even stronger. He was even willing to kill Vegeta to save the Earth. Imagine if 18 was not absorbed. I'd like to see both Trunks and Vegeta go all out and show us who's tougher between the two. Number 7, Trunks vs. Kagu. In the movie BoJack Unbound, the Galaxy Tournament had the 4 final contestants go up against other world fighters, but to their surprise, those fighters were taken out by BoJack and his crew. One of those was Kagu. Kagu's opponent was Trunks, and he seemed to have similarities to him as well, including carrying a sword and even transforming to gain a higher power level. Kagu was a worthy opponent and he was beating Trunks throughout the fight, but Kagu was transformed and Trunks hadn't even gone Super Saiyan yet. So the moment Kagu whipped out his sword to finish off Trunks, Trunks went Super Saiyan and actually blocked his sword with his own forearm, just like the androids. Not just that, but he broke the sword and impaled his fist through Kagu's torso. Kagu and BoJack were the only ones that could transform, so even though Kagu was taken out first in the middle of the movie, I can honestly say that Trunks could have wiped out BoJack's crew one at a time. Number 6, Trunks vs. Future Cell. When Trunks got back to his own timeline, I was excited to see what he would do to take down the villains who terrorized the Earth, and although Cell was never seen by Trunks or Gohan in the future, he had already killed thousands of lives, so it was up to Trunks to get rid of him after the androids. Sadly, since the androids were already killed off, Cell was in his imperfect form, so we knew he would stand no chance against Trunks as he was much more stronger than Cell's semi-perfect form. But even though the fight was short, Trunks finished him off with his Finish Buster. A hell of a kick-ass finishing move. Number 5, Trunks vs. Android 14. Androids 13, 14, and 15 appeared to have about the same power level as Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks, although it is hard to tell because the Z Fighters didn't seem to be trying hard at all during the entire fight. They just kept getting pummeled and Vegeta and Trunks' finishing moves seemed to be a win out of luck, like a Mexican standoff. But although they didn't seem to be winning the fight, the end result was awesome. The way Trunks finished off Android 14 was once again with style, slicing him in half without 14 even noticing. You can tell by the expression on his face before he explodes. Number 4, Trunks becomes a Super Saiyan. In the Dragon Ball Z special of the history of Trunks, I was amazed at how he became a Super Saiyan for the first time. Not only that, but it was a very sad moment since Gohan had just been killed by the androids. As a kid for my first experience, I was hoping to see Trunks go Super Saiyan and help team up with Gohan to make an even match against the androids, even though they would be at a disadvantage because of two things. One, Gohan is missing an arm and his performance may not be the same. And two, Trunks was still not strong enough to defeat an android. But at least now, Trunks would be able to train harder and spar with Gohan instead of spending more time trying to become a Super Saiyan. And if only Gohan had seen Trunks achieve it. But sadly, it was Gohan's defeat what made Trunks go Super Saiyan, so in a way, it was a necessary death. The biggest sacrifice a warrior could give. Number 3. Killing Frieza. As mentioned before, we were all surprised to see both Frieza and Trunks appear, especially with Frieza since he brought his father along with him. But once Trunks stepped in, we knew we were in for a good surprise. He fought for justice, but unlike Goku, he was willing to kill the enemy to ensure the safety for everyone. Frieza gave Goku and his friends a really hard time on Namek, and he even killed Vegeta, so we weren't sure how they were going to handle him since Goku wasn't even on Earth yet. As always, it is expected of Goku to arrive late, so I was sure that there would be at least one Earth warrior that would die in the process. But luckily, Trunks arrived instead and wiped the floor with Frieza's henchmen. Then he made sure Frieza would not survive this time as he sliced the Demon Frost in half, and as expected, he killed him with style, slicing him multiple times and blasting him into oblivion. Number 2. Killing King Cold. Frieza's death would be number 2, but since we were sure that King Cold was going to be a bigger threat since he appeared to be stronger than him, we were all expecting to see him put up a fight. But to everyone's surprise, he was demolished within the first 5 minutes of the episode where Frieza died. I was honestly hoping to see a bit of a fight since King Cold was a new villain and should have been an interesting fight. Trunks could have at least pitied him a little more, but since he's dealt with a lot of crap from his timeline, he wasn't going to put up with the Demon Frosts, as his true objective was to help Goku and his friends by warning them about the real threat that lies ahead and make sure that this time Goku does not die from the heart disease. But other than that, the best part about killing King Cold was seeing him go down from being a confident, tough leader to begging for mercy right away. Number 1. Killing future androids 17 and 18. This one clearly had to make number 1. The androids made Trunks' life a living nightmare. He had to hide from them his entire life, and just like Gohan growing up, his destiny was already set. Only difference was that Gohan was able to deal with opponents at a power level that was doable, but Trunks couldn't. His only enemies were the androids 17 and 18, and they were beyond his reachable limits since he could not train with any of the best warriors such as Goku, Piccolo, or Vegeta. Gohan may have been the savior who dealt with the androids over time, but he spent most of his time dealing with the androids and help out survivors. But after so much struggle, after losing so many fights against him, having to escape all the time, and even dealing with Gohan's death, Trunks finally got his revenge. The androids deserved nothing more than what they got. Trunks came back stronger than ever and destroyed them once and for all, restoring peace to the Earth for the first time in over a decade or two. That's it for the top 10 list. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, put a thumbs up. And if there are any other videos you would love to request, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you want to shout out a video request or you want to ask me a question for the next Q&A video, I strongly recommend you post it on my Facebook page. And if you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it really helps me out a lot. And I'll be sure to let you know when I post up more videos. This is Scorer saying, have an awesome day.